Alright, all you crystal collecting, time warping gamers out there, welcome back to the Indy Radio Arcade. And oh yeah, during the whole fanboying we did during that movie, we completely forgot to mention that they turned Back to the Future into a cartoon series and had two other movies following alongside with it that we will review in the future. If we have a flux capacitor and a DeLorean to predict when we will, we'll let you know. But before then, folks, I think it's time for us to go into yet another classic edition of the Instant Classic Video Game Review. And the game we have up on the plate to continue this time warping theme we have for this Lvl.88 episode we have for this week is none other than Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Now, before anybody at home thinks we're reviewing the trilogy version of the game that recently came out a couple of months ago, or actually a couple of years ago, no, we are reviewing the original version of this game that a 10-year-old me got for Christmas. And the meat and potatoes of this said game is that after the failed plans of Dr. Neo-Cortex from the previous game that would take place, he would run into the evil younger brother of Aku Aku, known as Uga Uga, who would help him alongside with the time-obsessed Dr. Nefarious Trophy to plan to gather all the crystals around the world to take over the world once again. Only for Crash and Coco this time to join up to try to gather the crystals and save the world from Neo-Cortex's evil ideas once again. And with that meat and potatoes explained, folks, what did I like about this game? Well, for one, the fact that you can finally use Coco as a character in the game as a secondary character was definitely one of the things that I liked about this game. Another thing has to be the soundtrack for this game and the different remix themes that they would have, including the one for, I think if I can remember the level clearly, Surf's Up or Hang 10 that you would have to do when you get to the crystals for that game. And also, along with that, another thing that I loved about this game is the fact after you beat every boss in the game, they give you special upgrades to help you get through certain levels in the game that you didn't think you can get through before, which is definitely a plus and needed to help you to actually beat the game fully by the end of the whole thing. And if you're wondering which one is my favorite upgrade, besides the fruit bazooka that he has, I think the super spin has to be one of my favorite upgrades that he has. And another thing that I liked about this game has to be, speaking of the levels, folks, has to be the levels of this game, and definitely the levels that involve Crash Bandicoot on a motorcycle not only doing wheelies, but also avoiding enemies, all to make his way to first place. And I'm not sure if I'm right on this or not, but I think this was the stepping stone for them to create Crash Bandicoot Racing, or Crash Team Racing. Thank you for the correction, Maestro. And the last but not least thing that I liked about this game is the fact that they brought back the polar bear levels that you would do in the second game for this game, and even would have some unique levels for Coco as well that involves her on the back of a tiger and on a jet ski as well. Not bad. And with everything that I liked about this game, what didn't I like about it? Well, the only thing I can really say from the 10-year-old in me that played this game is that some of the levels can be frustrating to do. That's the only thing that I didn't like about this game, but growing up with the difficulty level of this game, I learned to appreciate it, but at the same time, the only real complaint that I have, besides the 10-year-old me that's complaining about it in the background, has to be, I guess, the camera angles. That's about it. That, and I do believe on one of the levels for Coco, the fact that they don't have an arrow system to point you in the right direction of where the crystal is. That's about it. And what I liked and didn't like about this game out of the way, what do I think they could do to improve upon it? Well, the only thing I hope for in the near future for this game that they could improve upon it for is a 2-player mode that you could do for the special missions that you could do, like racing the pandas or racing the motorcycles or even the jet skis to see who can get in first, second, or third place. The only thing I hope for in the near future for the game, and maybe a time attack mode on certain levels that you can play alongside with your friends. Yeah, you know, after you beat the game, just a little bonus to go along with it, because they do have the ability for you to go back and do all the levels after you beat them, but a new game plus would have been nice too, so you could use all the special powers on all the certain levels. And according to the Maestro, if you didn't collect the gems, that's a possibility for you to do. Alright, well, there you go. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review games along the lines of gold, stars, coins, letters, or bricks, we say this. Will there be a video game story for this game once again in the near future, since according to the Maestro we already done one? And do I recommend this game for you, the, I guess, crystal collecting, time warping fan of Crash Bandicoot at home? And to answer the Maestro's question, why yes, I have a feeling there will be another video game story in the near future for the month of madness for the bike level that we did for Crash Bandicoot. Cause I do believe for some strange reason we did a wheelie over a cop car and somehow landed into a pit. Yeah, we can turn that into a video game story. Cause it took us like, what, 13 attempts to beat that level? Yeah, definitely can turn that into a video game story. And do we recommend this game for you, the crystal collecting, time warping fan at home? Well, if you want to play a game that involves you fighting Aku's younger brother in an evil time warping fight, all while collecting crystals and running into old bosses that you have defeated in prior games before, only to fight them again and do it all over again in a Marty McFly time warping situation, then I recommend you go out there and cop that disc. And with that said, folks, we might as well head back to this music once again. And when we return, we'll be back with another edition of the Indy Wall of Fame right after a word from our sponsors. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.